Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Paquette.
And I'm Angela Paquette, and we're with the Paquette Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we talk about all things Livingston County. My name is Don Paquette.
And I'm Angela Paquette, and we're with the Paquette Group Real Estate Professionals.
Yes, and we're so excited for today's episode, but before we get started, we're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their home ownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special. And I just think he is a great person to work with. Very professional. Yes, and we're really excited about today's episode. Today we have with us with the Escape Room Brighton, Kaitlin Gotcher.
Hey guys.
Hey, Kaitlin, this is great because, I'll bet you there's a bunch of our listeners that don't even know you're right here in Brighton.
We get that a lot.
Yeah. So now we get to find out more. Mm-hmm. So talk to us about, it's Escape Room Brighton. Now, how did you get started?
Funny story. This business actually existed before we came on. My parents are real estate agents and they were trying to sell it. And then they realized, you know what, let's just buy it ourselves. And then I came on board after I moved back from Washington. They're like, hey, we need someone to help us with this. And I'm like, sure, why not? So that's why I'm here. We bought it, I can't remember when it went through, March, April, somewhere around there.
So relatively new. Mm-hmm. So fun.
Yeah.
And did you have any experience with escape rooms before this?
Not at all.
No.
I've done maybe one or two. Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Right.
I've always been interested in them.
No, I think they're so interesting. And I think it's one of those hot new things that people really love the idea of escape rooms and solving a mystery.
Mm-hmm. Well, something interactive. I think in this day and age, it's all about experiences.
Yes, that's really what we're about. We're about giving people the best experience they can.
Yeah, keeping it entertaining and fun and something different,
Yep. So for those people out there that don't know, because I'm sure there's some people that don't know, what is an escape room?
It's a good question. An escape room is obviously you're in a room. Each room has a different theme, and you are in there not really to escape anymore. That's more old-fashioned escape rooms, but new escape rooms, either you're finding something or maybe you have to enter a code before something crashes, or there's some movie-like aspect to escape rooms where you're inside your own film and you have to solve and find a way to get out.
Oh, that's really good. And where is it that you're located? I know I mentioned that it's in Brighton, but...
Yep, we are on Grand River, right off of exit 145. Not too far from downtown.
Kind of on Grand River, if I remember right?
Yeah, we're on Grand River, and we are across from Gordon's.
Escape rooms, they're really popular. And I know kids love the idea of escape rooms. So, what is, for someone going into one, I know they're solving a mystery and such, or they're looking for items and everything. Are they actually locked in the room?
No. We cannot lock people in rooms. That is a liability. No, you can escape any time that you want. It's really more for the atmosphere that we close the door.
Gotcha. And it's not just
the privacy
kids.
Too, so people can't just walk in.
That makes sense. That's nice. And it's not just kids. Adults can do this. What kind of clientele do you end up having?
It's a good mixture. We get kids as young as 5, which can't really do too many puzzles, but they like to be there anyway. And all the way up to, we've had maybe 90-year-olds in there. So at any ages, we get a lot at our location in Brighton. We get a lot of teenagers that'll come in, but we also, around this time of the year, we get a lot of corporate groups. So team building exercises, a lot of businesses will come and bring their employees and do something fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah, something that's different than just going to a restaurant or
right. And your escape rooms have different themes then as well, right?
Yes. Each room has its own different theme, different world that you're into, and it really does look different on the inside. It's like the TARDIS, bigger on the inside. We've got a fortune teller room. So she has locked you in her lair and you have to escape before your time is up. We've got a shipwreck. So you've been shipwrecked on an island and you have to call the Coast Guard before your time is up. We have Curse of the Jade Skull. So in that one, you're more like Indiana Jones and you're trying to find the Jade Skull. We have one room which we are getting rid of that is Alien, which is no longer able to play, but we are going to be opening a new room in January. Not sure what that one looks like yet. We're still working on that. And then our newest room, which is Terminal. You guys are an abandoned train terminal, and you have to stop the plane before it crashes.
Wow.
Ooh.
That sounds really interesting. So are there ones that are easier than others?
Yes. So Shipwreck Island and our Jade Skull, those are going to be our easiest rooms. They're also our most popular rooms. Our hardest room, which is Alien, we are getting rid of. But the two other ones, they're also more difficult. And when I say difficulty, it's really more based on your experience level than your ability to solve puzzles. Harder rooms will have more puzzles than the easier rooms.
Got you. Because you've gone through this before, so you kind of get an idea of how to get into it.
And you're able to manage your time better.
Right.
Oh, that's true, because there's that whole time element.
How long is a typical escape room?
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Okay. It's a healthy amount of time. And
Yep.
and how many people can be in one adventure?
Depends on the room, depends on the size. Our smallest room, which is Fortune Teller, we don't really book more than 6 people. And then our biggest room, we don't go over 8, but we have put 10 in there before. Any more goes against fire code.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. And while I haven't been to an escape room before, I definitely have been wanting to go and be kind of fun. But we did do in Chicago where it's like Clue, so it was sort of similar, kind of like that.
Similar ideas.
But one of our favorite TV shows is Big Bang Theory, and I know there's an episode with all that too.
Yeah,
And
they
it
go
just-
to an escape room and they complete it in like 30 seconds.
Wow, I'd love to see that. I personally haven't seen anyone get out with more than 30 minutes to spare.
Wow. Yeah, I wondered what the fastest time.
Fastest time really depends on the group and if they've done the game before. I think technically our fastest time is with 20 minutes left on the clock, but that is their second time through. Usually 25 minutes would be the fastest time for most rooms.
Like how many do you have that like people don't finish?
It's more often than you think. And it really depends on the room as well. We actually do have our escape rates on our website, but it depends on the difficulty. But I say for our easiest rooms, 60-70% escape rate.
Okay.
So, because we get a lot of first timers in those rooms as well, and first time escape goers don't always escape.
Right. And if someone's having difficulty, do you guys give them clues or are they on their own?
We usually wait for them to ask, but if we notice a group is struggling, we will prompt and say, "Hey, you guys want some help?"
Right.
And
Have you looked
sometimes you
under
get
here?
stubborn groups that go no, and we're like, okay.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to watch groups fail, but it's better that they have the experience and feel like they're doing it themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
But it
very
seems
true.
like it'd be fun, in terms of solving a mystery. I mean, that's not something you get to do every day of the week. There's certainly bowling and some other things, but like this really uses your brain and is engaging more than just watching a movie or something.
And do you have people that like really get into the theme while they're in there? Like how interactive into it?
I've seen people dress up as pirates come into Shipwreck. I have seen someone with a whip come into
The Indiana
the
Jones
Jade
one?
Skull.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So it really depends on the person at that point. At Novi, we had a group of 7 guys dressed as Steve Harvey. All of them.
Oh, wow.
No reason. We don't have a Steve Harvey room, but that's
Oh, yeah. Imagine you've seen some crazy things, And so it's kind of nice so you have the location in Brighton and the location in Novi. Are they different puzzles or are they the same? Or
they're all different.
Oh,
All
neat.
different rooms.
So if you go and you go to all of them and love it, then you can just march on down 96 and go to a whole bunch more, huh?
Very cool. And then I know you also have mobile rooms, right?
Yes.
So how does that work?
So we bring the escape room experience to you guys. So they're trailers anywhere between 18 feet to 28 feet. And we bring it to people's houses for birthday parties. We've done weddings before. We went to Colorado for a wedding. We went to Wyoming for a birthday party. They wouldn't say no. We've done a lot of festivals. So we're in a ton this summer. And we also do senior all-night parties.
What festival were we at? Was it Balloon Fest?
Balloon Fest they were at, yeah.
That our kids got aboard
Yep.
and did it. And
We were there.
Yep.
yeah, so I know they had fun. We haven't had a chance to do it ourselves, and I would like to.
You should come in.
Yeah, well, that'd be really fun. Now, I saw on your website, which is really cool website and stuff, the zombie
Brand
box.
new. I hope it looks good.
Yeah. Oh, and
video was great.
The
Yes.
video was phenomenal. It's like, wow. So I kind of feel like as you're talking about the stuff.
No, they do a really good job.
Yeah. No, it's really good. But so they noticed like a zombie box. And I'm like, wonder what's that about?
So that's a mini game that we have. So it's a zombie containment unit. You get put in there. You do get locked, but you're there for 20 minutes and there's emergency escape. So don't be afraid. And you get 2 minutes to solve 2 puzzles. If you don't solve them, then you're a zombie. You don't pass the test.
Dun, dun, dun. Neat. That seems really fun. And then you had said for groups and parties. And so it's cool that you listed all the different types. But like if someone wanted to do that, what's involved in that? How far in advance do they have to book?
At Brighton, I mean, you can book as far out as you want to. I know schools, we just booked the Novi Senior on Light Party a couple days ago. And that's not until May. So you have all the time in the world to book. As for Saturdays, you book earlier rather than later because we do get pretty busy.
Gotcha.
We also have a walk-ins as well. You are able to walk in, but during our busy hours, we might want to push you to another time.
Gotcha. So in general, if someone wants to do it, in theory, they might be able to just
Better
show
to
up
call
and
ahead.
see, but call ahead, reserve for.
Because we can't promise there's going to be any rooms open for you guys. We are pretty busy.
Yeah, and especially if you're looking for a specific room, right? Because some people are like, oh, I really want to do the Indiana Jones room, or I really want to,
Yeah.
Now, do you have rooms that are, scary?
No,
No?
we don't have any scary rooms. Our rooms are dim. Like some of them are pretty dim, so that could be scary for some people. But especially at Brighton, there's no scary rooms and no jump scares in those ones.
Yeah. Now, also on your website, it mentioned an online escape experience. Yes. And that seemed kind of interesting too.
Yeah, so that's our Sapphire Express game. It's $15. You get the link, and you can share it with 5 other computers. You can be on a Zoom call with people, and you can play the game with them at the same time.
And then it's the concept of the escape room where you're trying to solve stuff, but it's everybody remote.
Yep, so you'll be able to see everyone's mouses, and you'll be able to click on different things. And
That is pretty cool.
Now, is that a relatively newer
we've had that
element?
for a couple of years.
Yeah. No, and it seems like, because especially over the holidays, some kids are home from college and, certainly they have their home friends, but their friends that are in college, if, they want to reconnect and do something fun, that might be a really good option.
That would, yeah, because I know when our son was home from college last Christmas, he did like a watch party where they all like jumped on and they watched a movie on Netflix, and one was in, Florida and one was in California, and they were able to do that. But that would be one of those things that I think he'd be interested in, and a lot of people would be, in terms of being able to do something interactive like that with their friends.
Especially back in the day, it's been a long time. We're kind of old now, but like we were at Michigan State, and we had friends out in Holland and Grand Rapids, and we had friends in Lansing, friends in Seal, and so it became an event that over the holiday we didn't get to see our friends that much, even in state.
Yep.
But
that is very cool. It's interesting that you guys have like figured out different ways to do these escape rooms in these different types of settings. I love the idea of having an escape room at a graduation party, or how does that work at like a wedding? I mean, that's just, I would not have thought of that, but that's pretty cool.
Well, I think for that specific wedding, they were at their house, so you could, just park it on their driveway at venues. And there's places where you can park it.
Right.
So people just come and go when they please, when they feel like it.
Now, for those mobile ones, how long of a time period do they have?
As long as you want. You have to book for at least for 2 hours, but I mean, the festivals, we're there for a couple days.
Right.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And for somebody coming in, it's like, okay, you're inside, you're trying to figure this out. Is that still the 1 hour, or is it?
So most of our games are 15-minute games. We do have a 45-minute game trailer.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Right.
But
so
for
it's
events,
a
that
nice,
makes
easy.
sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're there for the whole event or for 2 hours, or something like that, then at least you can fit in.
Fit in a lot more people with a shorter amount of time.
Right.
Nice.
So when people go through a room a second time, is it different, a little bit different each time, or is it just they kind of got to remember?
It's the same game. Some people, they really want to finish the game themselves, so they'll come back and finish the game.
Got you.
Especially if they didn't.
Yes, if they didn't get out, they're like, we really have to come back and do it again.
Got you.
So it's like it's going to take us an hour and a half. So we got as far as we could in the hour, and then now
we know some stuff, and it makes it easier because they can get through the beginning part quicker.
Yes. And there has been times where people, they didn't get out within their first hour, and the room was open again the next hour, so they paid for another hour so they can finish the game.
Gotcha. Now, do you have any regulars, or is that not really
as far as regulars? Like once people figure out where we are, they will finish all of our games.
Okay. Yeah. So once they do one, like it's so much fun that they come back and they do all the others. So neat. And I bet you there's a bunch of people, like I said, that haven't even realized that you're over there, and especially over the winter time, there's fun things to do outside in the snow, but for something just different and fun to do, then I think this is just a great option that's right here in Livingston County. And
right. I'm just fascinated about the whole setup of one of these rooms, like the behind the scenes and like, how do you come up with these types of puzzles and everything? And it must be so much fun to like, okay, how are we going to sequence this to get to the end, but not make it so hard that they're not going to get there?
Is it hard to pick out and figure out a new one? And how often do you have like new openings?
Every couple of years we'll change out a room. It's really when a room loses popularity or everyone has done it before, then we're like, okay, we probably should put something else there. As far as creating rooms, it's hard to figure out how difficult a room is until we've had trial plays. Like we just don't know until people have gone through it and how quickly or if they don't understand a puzzle or if something's way too hard, then we have to go back and rework a puzzle, figure out, okay, why aren't people getting this and what can we do to improve someone's experience?
Right. Yeah, because I assume that sometimes it's something that you thought was really hard, like they're getting it like that, and then something else you're like on the other side of the thing going, why aren't they getting this?
And it's when people are consistently not getting the puzzle that we realize, okay, maybe this isn't as obvious as we thought it would be. Because as someone who does escape rooms all the time, like once you do a lot of them, you kind of understand like what each puzzle goes to and what to look for. And so that is the same for when you're creating them. You just have no idea if it's going to be too hard for people, or I guess your average escape room attendee.
Right.
That makes sense. No, that's really kind of cool. And see, I love that they're the different themes and that, like I said, that video that it seemed like, is it once you solve it that the wall opens up and you go in, or that's part of the experience that now here's the next?
It's part of the experience. Most of our rooms have more than one room. So you have to open the door to get to the next part.
It's like your real life choose your own adventure book.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We we're of the age that like that was our big thing. Like when we were in elementary, middle school, you get those white books with the
choose your own adventure,
and do it every which way you could.
Yeah, pick a page number. Oh, you got there.
Yep.
This is your new ending. Those were fun.
Neat. And it's cool that for the mobile ones, they're totally different experiences than the ones there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have all different rooms for everything, including our mobiles and our normal rooms. Each one has a different theme. So it's not like you're going to be doing the same puzzle if you get a mobile escape room versus going to our location.
Another question I had. So when you go to these, are you just with your party, or are you like getting mixed with other people?
You guys are with your party. We don't mix with anyone else.
Perfect.
Started that during COVID, and people tend to like it a lot better, so we just kept it that way.
Right, because that way they don't have someone else that's like stealing their puzzles.
And that's the thing, you said up to 6 for some, up to 8, that kind of number. But if someone is just 2 people for a date or something, they can do that as well.
We can do that. And also if your party is huge, like for corporate groups, you can rent out more than one room and do it, tournament style. Whoever gets out the fastest wins.
Ooh, that's a cool idea too.
Right.
Now I wonder, what other things that you've seen or things that have come up, or a lot of unusual people, unusual things.
It just must be so interesting to like almost see the wheels turn for the people that are in there. Now, are you able to see what they're doing while they're in there? Or?
Yes. So we have a control room for all of our game masters, which is the name of your job title once you start working there.
Okay.
And it's all set up. All the cameras are there. We can hear them. So we have a little speaker box, and it's the same thing that we talk through when we're giving them clues.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. And as for funny things, I mean, it's interesting to see that because we have to reset the games every single time that you run a room, and it's funny to see that people will put things like in exactly the same spots, or if you're missing something, they're like, oh, maybe they put it over here on this box. Like it's usually the same object on the same box if you can't find it.
So people like behaviorally
are usually very similar.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Now, in the rooms, is there only one way through, or is there different routes that people can take to get to the end?
Are you talking about as far as puzzles go?
As far as puzzles go.
Yeah, most of our rooms, to get more people working on puzzles at the same time, we do, so it's not, when I say linear game, it's one puzzle leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next. There's no deviation.
Got you.
Our games are a little more variable, where you work on multiple puzzles at the same time, which then meet together at one point, and then you can branch off again.
Got you. So it gives more people more things to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's good to keep groups a little bit smaller too, because we hate when people just stand around and do nothing while there's only two people working on puzzles. And that's usually what happens with more linear games.
Gotcha. Yeah. That you have the people that are the ones solving it, the other ones that are like, okay.
Yep. They don't have anything to do. So,
Right.
Yeah.
This sounds very interactive. I like the idea of like, the whole team building and everything, that you're able to get a group in there, and then you're able to, with the different puzzles and everything, everyone has a spot where they can feel like they're highly involved.
Now, what days of the week are you guys open?
we're open from Friday to Sunday.
Okay.
Fridays, we are open from 3 to our last room goes in at 9 or 9:30. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, we are open at noon, and same time for our last rooms.
Gotcha. So now as we get to the summertime and kids are off school, is it still kind of the same, or do you have like...
We open up on Thursdays during the summer.
Okay.
And I will say we do have different holiday hours for holiday break. We're open for most of the week for the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's.
Good. And if someone wanted to book a corporate event on like a Tuesday, would they be able to like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Give us a call. We're able to book. We've got a ton of those coming up. So we'll be able to get staff there, run the rooms for them.
Perfect.
Because then, yeah, if everything for the social stuff is the weekend, then for planning an event, it's best to have.
Anything else we've missed about the rooms?
I can't think of anything.
No?
I think you guys covered it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of excited to try it out at some point here.
No, you should. You should come over. It's a great time.
Well, and even when we were on vacation, you know, they had the option of doing an escape room, and I couldn't convince anybody to do it with me. So, you know, I'll twist some arms here now that we're all home.
No, that'll be fun. We could probably figure out something the next few weeks. Yeah.
No, I think that's something everybody should do, you know.
I really think so.
Because it's something different, you know, that in terms of the county, there's so many fun things, so many cool things out there. And, you know, it's a privilege to be able to get the word out and let people know about the fun stuff. You know, as people move into Livingston County, you know, a lot of times our clients will ask us, well, where do I go for this or that? And that's why having our podcast has been so wonderful, because then, you know, in this case, any of our clients that are looking for fun things to do, then we could say, oh my gosh, that escape room is so cool. And, you know, listen to the episode. And Kaitlin.
Well, and I know a lot of
tells us all
families
about
still do like a family game night or something.
That's true too.
Instead of doing a board game, come out and do the escape room. Like it's a real live interactive board game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You know, it's definitely a special occasion kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely makes for a lot of fun. So cool. And those senior all-night parties, I mean, I hadn't even thought about having that for that, but that's kind of cool too. So anybody out there that's, you know, working with the school stuff, if you're on one of those committees, know that this is something that's available and a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah. Or graduation parties, birthday parties. I like that idea of being able to do those things.
Yeah, to offer something different, because I'll bet you not many people are doing that. You know, there's some, but it's something different, you know, and that's what everybody always likes. So in terms of if people want more information about, you know, about the offerings, and I know the website was just a really big help, and that, like I said, that video really was an eye-opener.
You can always call us, and we'll be available to answer you guys. I mean, people in upper management were there from 9 to 5, and then Novi is usually open all the way until 10. So all day long, you can give us a call and ask for information. And then, of course, our websites you'll be able to look for stuff yourself. I will say the MI on the Escape Room Brighton website is very important because there is also an escape room in Brighton, UK. And we've had a couple of mix-ups, which is that's funny every time we see it because we get people that will apply from the UK and we get people who are booking rooms from the UK and we'll call them up and say, hey, where are you guys? You're late. And they're like, oh, I've never received a call myself, but it's funny to hear about. And then you find out, oh, they're not actually in the country.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
And then so you can book your time online then, huh?
Yes.
Right on the website?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's helpful to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably makes it real easy then.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, and we will have the website and the phone number in the show notes. But I don't know if you want to share it for the people just listening.
Okay. EscapeRoomBrightonMI.com is our website.
This is a great thing to try out. Something really fun. If you're looking for a good time and try something different, this is the place for you. Escape Room Brighton has fun things going on. And it was so much fun to listen to all the different options.
Yep. And they're located right there on Grand River, in between, right across from Gordon Food Service, but just past the freeway entrances there as you go towards Howell. It's a great location, a fun time for people to go out there with friends or family to do an escape room.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So we appreciate you joining us today, Kaitlin.
Yes, thanks for having me. This has been wonderful.
Awesome.
And a great experience. I've never done this before.
Cool, perfect. Well, you've been great, and we learned a whole lot. And I hope, listeners, that you guys enjoyed it and learned something too. I hope you can go and check it out.
Yep. So please check it out. Check out our other episodes. Jump over to their website and book an escape room. Thank you so much for listening today.
And
Welcome to Livingston.